Hello, and welcome to my channel. I always knew the day would come where I would be saying that, but also it's just crazy to be saying that because that means I am starting my YouTube journey. I need another drink of this energy powder because I'm obsessed with caffeine, which is probably not good, but it's fine. It's getting better as I drink it. It is so nice to meet you. I am Rosilynn, and this video is just going to be an introduction to me, my journey, my mission. I am a first-gen Korean American. While I was in college, I'm going to start before that, okay? Growing up, I was so outgoing. I am still very outgoing, don't get me wrong, but when I was a child, I was unstoppable, all right? It was like cringy how not shy I was. I loved dancing. And actually, I should say I love dancing because I still love dancing. Throughout high school, I was a professional dancer. I was traveling, I was competing, and I was teaching classes. And I must say, my favorite part was teaching. I always knew that dancing was not necessarily my calling because I just didn't have enough confidence in if it would sustain my life. When I got to college, I was kind of lost. I didn't know what to study. I didn't really feel a pull towards anything. I changed my major 5 times. I started in psychology. Soon to find out I'm not good at science. And then I switched to poli-sci thinking that I could possibly become a lawyer because I like the art of persuasion. Come to find out, I don't really want to be involved in politics to that degree. Fast forward, I switched my major to business, and this was in my second to last year of college, so I had already completed most of my poli-sci prereqs. But I switched anyways. I'm like, fuck it, I'm here. I might as well choose something that I enjoy. And once I switched to business, I actually started doing really well in my classes. When I found marketing, that felt like the answer to all of my curiosities. I love creativity, and I am such a creative individual. If you can tell by my clothes, it is very colorful and expressive. I love self-expression, creative expression mixed with business. I love numbers and problem solving mixed with persuasion and the art of selling, and also psychology, consumer behavior. So it felt like everything I loved wrapped into one. Finally, I stuck to business and marketing. And at the time, I was working at a nail salon with my mom. I remember my mom apologizing to me that she didn't have connections, and she saw all these girls my age and they were getting jobs and they had references and contacts. And I even remember thinking, why is she apologizing? She should not be apologizing for this. And also, I will figure it out, okay? I will find my own way. So I actually started freelancing in college, and that was, what year are we in? 2025? Damn, that was 8 years ago. I started freelancing 8 years ago, and I found my first client at that nail salon. I remember one of my regulars, she was a realtor, and I just remember thinking oh, I could help her. She doesn't have a website. She doesn't have a social presence. She is not writing blogs. I can do this. So I asked her if I could help her out pro bono, and she was stoked. She is the reason I started getting so many referrals, and there was a point in time where I had 5 to 7 clients in college freelancing. And to be honest, I probably could have kept doing it, but there was also so much that I didn't know. I didn't know how to collaborate in teams. I wasn't really sure about corporate structure or what it could look like working for a business that was racking up millions of dollars. So I decided to actually use my freelance experience and just create a portfolio out of that to land my first marketing job, which I did. I landed a job as a copywriter at a ed tech startup. And if you have worked at a startup, you know what it's like. And if you haven't, it's honestly kind of challenging to explain. But essentially, everyone is grinding. There is no limit to what you can accomplish because You're trying to get this thing off the ground. It is not a matter of keeping operations running. It is, we need to fucking do this shit. And I couldn't have asked for a better way to start my career, honestly, because I was able to get experience writing landing pages, email, sales collateral, social collateral, truly everything. Everything that had words on it, I was writing. And I didn't know any different. I did not know I was overworked and underpaid at the time. I was just stoked that I had a marketing job. I was there for quite a while, and then I just wasn't very happy. I applied, I remember during this time, I applied for this job, and I was so excited for this job, y'all. It was for a nonprofit that helps fund entrepreneurs of color, and I was freaking stoked. And I got to the last stage of the interview process, and let me tell you, it was a rigorous process. And I didn't get it. And I felt so bummed. I was bummed for like, I don't know. I was young too, so I didn't know that rejection was redirection. But let me tell you, it probably is the best thing that happened to me, because that's when I started looking for jobs in Seattle. And Seattle is a place that I have always loved and adored and wanted to live in. So it's like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to search for jobs in Seattle, and I will move. And I got a job as a organic social strategist at an iconic advertising agency in the heart of the city. So I packed my bags and I left home. And now, I thought that could be the beginning of a ballad, but I don't really know where to go from there. Anyways, fast forward. I am living in Seattle. I am living my best life in Seattle. This advertising agency is everything I dreamed of. Being at this agency for about a year, my role evolved into a content strategist. Content strategist meant that I was looking at things more holistically. So how do we bring more people to our social channels and our website through our email? How do we bring more people to our email from our website and social? You get the idea. It is way more holistic. Another year goes by, then I became a brand strategist at the same advertising agency, and brand strategy was probably the most challenging role I've ever had. I have never conducted consumer research to that degree. I have held so many different roles within marketing. But the thing is, I always knew that I would come back to freelancing and entrepreneurship. I have this burning entrepreneurial spirit that I just cannot quiet down. She is just knocking to get out all the time. And I was really just waiting for that right moment, because I'm also very realistic. And I know that if I just jump to entrepreneurship, I'm not going to have money. I have to be in a good spot to jump to entrepreneurship. I have to have money saved up. I have to have invested. I have to lower my cost of living. Last year, I moved to Portland with my boyfriend, and we split rent. Rent is way cheaper than Seattle. And it just felt like the right time to make that leap. And now, here I am. My mission is truly to help others do the same. Because without entrepreneurship, I don't know if I would have been successful, to be honest. And yeah, as an Asian American, going to med school, going to law school, those are not the two avenues to find success. I am a firm believer in building my own path. I'm very scrappy and resourceful, and I will find a fucking way. So I want to help others do the same. And that is why I am now in the beginning stages of creating a program. And this program is going to be transformational. It is for solopreneurs or new business owners that don't know marketing, don't know where to begin when it comes to building a brand. They're overwhelmed by the information, and they just need someone to say, this is how you set up, this is how you do this, and this is why. And I feel I am very good at simplifying complex topics. And that is exactly what I want to do with marketing and branding, to help more people become entrepreneurs. Because no matter how challenging it has been, this has been the best part of my life. And purely because I get to have so much freedom over my time, I get to learn about myself in ways I never thought I would. I am pushing myself and really just challenging myself in ways I never thought possible. If you feel an ounce of what I'm feeling. If you feel that pull within yourself to become an entrepreneur, to become a business owner, let's do it together. I want to be a resource. I want to be here for you. And that is the purpose of this channel. That is the purpose of why I'm doing any of this. You know, when people ask me, why do you want to be a business owner? My answer is being a business owner is the best way I know how to provide value. This is how I will impact the world most. This is how I think I can provide the most value. And yeah, this was kind of a long intro, but I hope you enjoyed learning more about my journey. Let's be entrepreneurs together.